Hello, my name is Erika Degani and I am a postdoc researcher at the University of Reading working on land regeneration projects. And my presentation today is on the work we have been doing on the potential of Pongamia pinnata as an effective phytoremediation tool in the Copperbelt of Zambia. So mining in Zambia has left a huge legacy of degraded land, which is unsuitable for most forms of agriculture, and contaminated land surrounds numerous mining towns in the Copperbelt of Zambia. So as mining activities decline, these communities are left impacted by the negative environmental and social conditions surrounding them. And our challenge is to understand and promote an effective revegetation approach that is economically viable, provides environmental benefits, employment, and diversification. So that's where Pongamia comes into. Pongamia pinnata is a tree native to Southeast Asia, and recently interest in Pongamia focused on its potential as a biofuel source, as it seeds contain around 40% oil. However, Pongamia has multiple applications beyond biofuel production. It's a legume, so it can fix its own nitrogen. It can form symbiotic associations with mycorrhizal fungi. It has been shown to be tolerant to drought, salinity, and heavy metals in soil, and has the potential to mitigate climate change through carbon sequestration. Additionally, Pongamia can be cultivated in degraded land, and given its phytoremediation potential, it's an ideal candidate for the regeneration of the Copperbelt area. So with this in mind, we're using an experimental field in Zambia to test the potential of Pongamia to regenerate the land while providing socio-economic benefits. The trial is laid out in a 4-hectare field, and we are assessing 2,000 elite variety trees which were transplanted in January 2017 to copper mining tailings with a layer of organic amendment applied around the trees in a randomized block design. In our preliminary study, we have carried out biotoxicity assays of tailings, assessed early tree performance, and carried out soil and plant analysis where soil root and leaf samples were analyzed for copper concentrations and other heavy metals. So to our knowledge, our study is the first to test the potential of Pongamia pinnata to tolerate high levels of copper in a field trial. We have found that despite high levels of copper leaching from the tailings to the soil pits, 1-year-old Pongamia trees transplanted to the soil pits had over 99% survival rate and exhibited normal development 4 months after being transplanted. Soil concentration was many orders of magnitude higher than normal background levels in both the tailings and the soil pits. And while concentration in the tailings was higher than in the pits, this difference was not significant with high levels of copper on both. This suggests high levels of copper leaching from the tailings to the soil pits, indicating that copper in the soil is quite mobile. And visual observations of shallow roots, which are not included here, indicate that the roots have not extended beyond the soil pits into the tailings. So given that the levels of copper in the pits is still high, it suggests that factors other than copper levels are preventing the roots from expanding beyond the pit. High salinity levels in the tailings or water and nutrient supply could potentially be preventing the roots from expanding into the tailings, but more tests are needed before we can come to a more definitive conclusion. There were no significant differences in copper concentration between the leaves and the roots, but levels of copper in the plants are still quite high in comparison with normal levels, which indicates that Pongamia can potentially act as a hyperaccumulator of copper. That's what we have found so far, but more tests are necessary to establish the potential impact of tailings on flowering, pod formation, and especially yield. But early results suggest that elite Pongamia trees have the potential to be a viable option as a phytoremediation tool in the Copperbelt of Zambia. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the talk and have a great time at the conference.